What's up, everybody? Big V here, and we're talking teams. So what's the best training out there? People ask it all the time. I matter in Google searches, people ask it in seminars, at events, even online. On our social media, they'll say, what is the best training? My answer is, it depends. Depends on what it is you're looking to do in your business. How do you want to grow? There's different kinds of training, and I like to break them into two different areas. The first is the kind of training that's required to keep your license. That's your continuing education training. It's the things that happen through your board of realtors, your brokerage. Oftentimes that training is very valuable when it's teaching you how to not get sued, how to create great client experiences, understanding your state law, and making sure you're adhering to the real estate code of ethics, according to the National Association of Realtors. Continuing education is a critical part of our industry, but is it all? I think it's pretty interesting. When I got my real estate license, I remember I'd been in business for many, many years as a retail store owner selling both satellite dishes and hot tubs. And I finally closed my retail stores when somebody moved my cheese, if you remember that book, and decided that I was going to go into real estate. Going into real estate to me was a big life decision. Once I finally decided I was going to go, I was all in. So I signed up and did my 90 hours in 10 days. That's right, I did the 10-day real estate school. In 90 hours, I had my license. Once I was done with the education that it required me to get into real estate, I sat there and I talked to my wife and I said, I actually don't know anything that's going to help me actually sell a home. I know how to not get sued. I know the importance of the different designations and the different terms and how to not steer people and discriminate and make sure that we were fair housing. I knew those things. I knew what it required to pass the test, but what did I really know about selling real estate? I thought it was kind of funny because the same time I started my real estate school, my wife's little sister moved in with us. You know why? Because she wanted to be on her own. Not sure how that made sense. And she started hair school. When she started hair school, I was really proud of her, thinking that she was going to be able to become a great stylist. 2,000 hours, and 18 months later, she graduated, and then she could cut my hair. Now, I want you to think about the difference in these two scenarios. As a real estate agent with 90 or 100 hours of education, what did I really know about helping people with their most important investment, about being excellent in the business, about finding clients and convincing them to do business with me? What did I know about selling houses? Really not much. After 2,000 hours of hair school, she could really cut my hair and do a nice job. I mean, seriously, you can't improve on this. All right, so think about it for just a minute. 90 hours real estate, 2,000 hours cutting hair. What is wrong with this scenario? So the question is, what's the best real estate training that happens? I think it's the one that you invest in, the one that you decide you want to specialize in something different. At Workman Success Systems, we build our training programs very different than pretty much anybody else that I know of. Most people build training so it can be approved for continuing education. And while I believe that's valuable and you should invest in your continuing education, we build training that specializes in developing agents to be excellent at every area of the transaction. Let me give you an example of some of the different training programs that we offer. One of the first ones is called BAM. BAM, Buyer Agent Mastery. I like to say in the beginning of every video, hey, it's Big V and welcome to BAM. That exciting way of opening up a video invites people into what's about to happen. BAM, you're ready for success. BAM, it's time to get some new clients. BAM, it's time to go and grow. Buyer Agent Mastery is specifically designed to teach you to be an excellent buyer's agent. Not only how to prospect and find buyers, how to interact with buyers, how to actually get them to sign a buyer-broker agreement so that you know that you're going to get paid for the effort you put into investing in them finding a home. We teach you how to show properties. We teach you how to negotiate, how to win in multiple offer situations, and literally how to deal with different people with different personality styles and different behavioral styles. Being a great agent requires practice and it requires study, and you'll find all of it in a 10-week program called Buyer Agent Mastery. It's not called Buyer Agent Average or BA. It's called BAM, Buyer Agent Mastery, because we want you to be a master in buyer's agent. One of the first hires that happens when you're ready to hire somebody in your real estate business is an administrative assistant. Administrative assistants, or what we call client care coordinators, are the backbone of a successful real estate team. When you know you have a great assistant, it changes your life as a leader. It gives you the ability to focus on the things that you get the highest return on time. Let me ask you this question, and I'd love to see you put in your comments. How many of you have had a bad experience or hired someone in an administrative role that haven't actually lived up to what you thought they were going to do? Yeah, go ahead and put it in there. Oh yeah, we hire our sister, our cousin, our friend. We call those opportunity hires. The reason that we struggle hiring and developing talent is because everything we do so well is in our head and it's in our heart. We haven't taken the time to create processes for everything we do. And so you hire somebody in a supporting role and you don't really give them the training or development, and so you set them up for failure. It's frustrating for them because they come in and they're wired to do a great job, but you haven't given them the resources or the tools to be great in that job. So we went in the studio, we brought in some of the greatest administrative assistants for real estate in the country, and we built a program called AMP. It stands for Admin Mastery Program. In this session, there's over 60 videos on creating operational excellence, how to build an operations manual, how to, anytime you do something 3 times, to build a system for it, how to record it all so the next person sitting in that seat can do the job as equally as the person you have doing it today. The Admin Mastery Program is not just how to create operational excellence. It doesn't tell you to go do it. It shows you how to do it step by step. Everything from creating your core values to doing transaction management to building your operations manual, time management and marketing. One of the coolest things that I found in the AMP program was we were developing it is helping the administrative assistant understand their role on the team and helping the team leader understand their role. You see, team leaders don't understand that the administrative assistant or the client care coordinator, they feel like they can't have a win at the end of a day if they don't get to communicate, if they don't have their list checked off, if you haven't had a daily huddle. They feel like they're not giving value when you don't inspect what you expect. And so as a leader, understanding how to work with an administrative assistant is equally as important as the administrative assistant understanding how to work with you. The next program we created is a program called SLAM, or Sellers Listing Agent Mastery. In Sellers Listing Agent Mastery, this program is designed specifically for agents or team leaders who want to grow their listing inventory. When you say, hey, what's going on in the market? And you say there's no listings, I got news for you. There are listings. It's just you that don't have any. It's not because the market has changed, it's because our activities have changed and we're not doing the things that we need to do to generate real listings. So how do you do it? How do you actually prospect for listings? In SLAM, we teach you how to prospect, how to present, and how to run a high volume listing business. You want to go from 0 to 5 or 6 listings a month to 60 or 70 or 100 listings a year, then go through the Listing Agent Mastery Program and follow the system. People say, well, I don't do it that way, or that's not how I do it in my business. All right, so let me tell you how we created the program. So we went out to the marketplace and we looked for agents that are listing 250 houses a year. And we brought them into Salt Lake City and we said, let's break down all of the things that you do to get a predictable result with this high volume business. What do you do before a listing? What do you do during a listing? What do you do inside the home? What does your premium marketing plan look like? And we looked for all the commonalities and we built the program called SLAM. And so if you don't believe that you need a program like this, well, my answer is simple. If you're not already listing 200 or 250 houses a year, maybe do it this way. I don't know. If you want to do something better than what you're currently doing, you have to do activities that are different. And I've always found that if you copy someone that's getting a different result than you that's better, you'll get there a lot faster. SLAM is where the elite go when they want to grow their listing inventory. The fourth program that we built is a program called RAMP, and it stands for Rising Agent Mastery. And the Rising Agent Mastery could be considered the new agent, or it could be an agent that feels stuck or frustrated because their business has stopped growing. So if you want to grow your business by 2 transactions a month consistently, then what RAMP does is it goes through and breaks down for you how to organize your day correctly, how to set your right goals, how to do a strategic plan and a business plan, and then step by step teaches you how to go from wherever you are to an increase of 2 transactions a month. How many of you watching this video could benefit from an additional 24 transactions this year? How much more would that mean to you in income? Put it in the comments. Tell me how much more you'd make if you sold 24 houses more this year than you did last year. And then ask yourself the question, am I willing to do the work? Because if you are, I'll just give you the program. Matter of fact, if you'd like to go through RAMP and you just click the link, I'm going to give you 30 days access, a whole month access to the Rising Agent Mastery Program. Instead of me just telling you what the best programs are, how about I just give you access to the best training program in the world? Get into it and let's just do it. There's great training out there, and it's not set up for continued education. It's set up for continued income growth. You want to make more money, you want to earn more, it's focused on dollar productive activities, you want to create operational excellence, then inquire more about how to get access to the other programs. You'll get information when you sign up for the free 30-day RAMP from our company on how to do that. I wish you the greatest success. I encourage you to continue to take classes and focus on education that's not required, but is highly recommended.